Hello, I'm Gary, and I will be playing Alfred Johnson, the medical examiner.
I'm Termite. I'll be playing Amy Veeres, our systems analyst.
I'm Tanya. I'll be playing Genevieve, aka Frankie Ashford, and I am the acquisition specialist.
I am Alereg. I'll be playing Becker, the administrative assistant.
And I am Scott, the chill master for the evening. We are going to be starting this game here, but first, in the beginning, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And in the darkness crawled monsters, and when the light shone on the face of the waters, the monsters scurried and hid, opening the way for humans. But there have always been humans who looked back into the abyss, the watchful guardians of humanity who see the shadows of movement and act. However, these guardians walk a thin line, for when they look into the abyss looks back. This is the purpose of the Societas Argenti Via Eternitata, to stand on the gloom of the edge of darkness and light, holding their weapons and guard against the monsters. Vigilance and discipline are the main pillars by which SAVE maintains its vigil, but at the Colorado Regional Office, something seems amiss. Whether it's dirt in the copy machine, the coffee shop in a mop closet, or a missing artifact, something seems very wrong about this place, and our envoys know it. Today is April 21st, 2023, Fedora Friday, and we find Alfred, Amy, and Frankie entering their office at the normal start time of 9 a.m. However, they seem to be the last ones to arrive. Discounting Phil, of course, who they passed through the first security checkpoint as he was trying to talk his way past the private security contractors. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Today is Fedora Friday. You realize this based on the many fedoras you see in front of you as you see others kind of milling about the office. Becker himself is wearing a fairly fashionable fedora as you enter into the main lobby area of what appears to be the reception of your office, though you never have any guests for the necessity of a receptionist.
I'll be honest, I'll take the strike for not wearing a fedora today. Those things are awful.
You know what, Becker, I think you're looking sharp.
Well, thank you, my good friends. How is it today for all of you?
I'm not gonna lie, Becker. It's
Too early for that.
You're really chipper.
Oh, my friends, today's been the most wonderful of days.
Okay, now I'm a bit weirded out.
Are you not nonplussed? Are you confused, confuddled? Well, please tell me, friends, what is the issue?
Why the fuck are you talking like this?
Yeah,
It's gotta be the fedoras.
were you reading a fucking thesaurus before you came into work today?
Oh, hardly.
It sounds like you just came from vaudeville.
Well, I do actually happen to have an uncle that works there. However, no, I think it's more just a feeling that everything is so much today.
Becker, take that fedora off your head.
Yeah, you're making everything a lot today.
Becker will probably take the fedora off his head, twirl it around his finger before settling it before them. Is this better, friends?
This is disgusting. What is happening?
Are you talking the fedora or Becker being this?
Yes.
Bit of both, I think.
I see no reason why you're so concerned or consternated by my tone of voice, my speaking.
Well, it's not normal for one, but what you said today's a good day for some fucking reason. Why? What's so good about today?
I feel joy in my heart. The well springs of happiness are within me.
For
You work in an
what?
office, that shouldn't be possible.
Not here, at least.
I know not the reason why, but it's only my job to do and die.
Guys, I think he's broken.
Becker, did you drink any coffee recently?
I've only had my second pot.
Oh,
Hot.
What?
Is this unusual?
Becker, I told you last week to cut out the coffee.
I didn't even know he drank coffee.
Yeah, he said that he
Yeah, he
didn't
said
drink
he
coffee.
drinks tea, right? When did you
I
start
brought
drinking
from
coffee, Becker?
home. And he actually pulls out like one of those giant like Gonzo gulp that are like the 78-ounce things that has the Mountain Dew label plastered on the side.
Right, okay. Well, there goes my lead for that. Just, is anyone else particularly excited like you today, Becker?
By everyone.
Oh no.
Right.
If people start dancing and singing, I'm going to lose it.
Oh, that was
If there is
earlier.
a musical number today,
That's exactly what I was alluding to.
I am walking out.
I do apologize. A word to the ladies, and a word to the wise. There's a leak in your bathroom.
What?
Well, last week there was a leak upon Alfred's desk. There was a leak in the the files records room. This week it appears to be that it's in the ladies' bathroom.
You can see Roger rolling into the women's bathroom off to the side there with a large bucket and a mop, but he's sort of dancing with the mop as he's going in.
This is too much stress. I need to steal something quickly.
What is going on today?
Too much. In general, just too much.
It was such a good day as well. I woke up, it was Friday, and
I may not think that for long. There appears to be unnaturally confounding issues amongst the middle management. The Johns are on a rampage. I've never seen
Why?
anything like it.
for what reason?
Confirmed rumors. There's no 1032s, no 997 forms filled out for item 736.
736, Frankie was
Been
at the
over this.
IMO.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Okay,
I
just making sure. Yeah, it's gone. We realized that 2 weeks ago.
The issue is that no 1032s or 997s were filled out for it. No destruction, no requisition.
Right. Well, it
Yeah.
was stolen.
Right, that's
Exactly.
the problem. Somebody stole it.
You don't fill out forms when you steal things. So people tell me.
Mhm.
However, you having actually put out something for Kayla's form, Jean Rouge was asked to come to the big boss's office. No one's
As
seen him
in-
since.
Like Top John?
Well, there's John Vert, John Blanc, and Jean Rouge, right?
Right, but then there's the fourth one who's like the Top John.
The Big John, yes.
What's his last name?
That I don't know.
Interesting.
All I know is that we have not seen Rouge since. I'd be careful, all of you. Here dragons lurk and no doubt will try and eat all of us.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, of the very real shit that's happening here, I don't think dragons are any of them.
Well, let's not rule anything out yet.
There seems to be a disagreement that breaks out in one of the bullpens, but it's almost like a choreographed little back and forth between the two people. It's not physical; it's like mostly words, but it seems like they're slinging words back and forth in a way that is rehearsed, like it's a show that they have agreed to put on.
I swear, if
What?
we're in a musical, God, I
are you
fucking
looking at?
hate musicals.
Is there anything in the vicinity I could steal?
I mean, there is a large drink cup right in front of you on Becker's desk. But yeah, certainly if you move deeper into the office, there are things that you could take off of desks. Someone ends up tripping over by the copy machine in like the most over like vaudevillian type way where they do like a trip and then their feet kick out a bit and then they throw the papers all over the place. So there's also a bunch of papers now flying around in the air.
I'm gonna just swipe whatever is closest and just put it in my pocket.
Okay. Nah. Well, do you want to be unseen when you do it, or you just think that you can get away with it?
Yep, just trying to see if I can get away with it.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
In fact, I think I want to take Becker's fedora.
Are you wearing your own fedora today?
No,
All right. Well, now you have one.
I'll put it on.
Becker's fedora is a very nice fedora. It is a black fedora with a black band, a set of 3 what looks to be clipped pheasant feathers in the band, and then on the joining of where the band meets, there is a little strip of black that goes over around it, and then on top of that is a pin with a wolf head on it.
She's gonna put it on and then just kind of stare you down. What do you think of that? Took your hat.
You've dressed worse.
And you just watch as Becker starts to break down. My friends are stealing.
Wow. Way to overact.
Why? Okay, something happened here before we showed up, and we really don't have time to look into it based on everything else we have to fucking deal with, but I don't want to have to deal with this all day, so we should look into it.
How am I don't even know how to function.
At this moment, then, Becker slides back on his chair, lifts up onto pointed feet, twirls around 3 times before landing in front of you. Frankie takes back his fedora, puts it on his head, and smooth criminal Michael Jackson moonwalks back before sitting in his chair again.
No. What's...
Don't do that again.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. Becker, I need you to walk me through your day so far. What happened since the moment you woke up to the moment you got here to the moment we are now talking at this very moment? Give me the play-by-play.
Well, I woke up this morning with a very lovely, jaunty tune playing on the radio to wake me up this morning. I went downstairs, decided to make myself a couple pots of coffee to keep me throughout the day, as I had not slept very well last night. And then dressed myself, put my coffee into the great jug that you see before you, drove myself over here, entered through the lobby as per usual, greeted the morning gods as per usual as well, sat down at my desk and began work. And then I just felt more and more and so much more.
Nope, stop that.
Okay, all right. Did
Do you do
anything
that? Somebody's
happen
gonna try to
between
harmonize
you?
with you.
Don't give them any ideas. Did anything happen in between you sitting down to work and then feeling more, and so much more?
Well, I did receive an email from Karen, mostly just congratulating me for doing a good job, and that was it.
Anything else in that email?
Nope. And he'll even
Wait,
pull
hold
out a
on.
small
You got
tablet
an
and show
email
you
from
guys.
Karen?
Well, she is my
It would have been
Desk
a
mate.
memo. It would have been a memo.
would have been a memo. Apologies.
Yeah, there's no computer
Okay.
on your desk.
So just a simple piece of paper, just good job. Keep doing what you're doing, essentially.
Mhm.
Do you have that paper on you?
He actually has presented it for your inspection. It literally is right in front of you guys on like the top of his desk.
I want to give it a look. See if I see anything of interest.
It just seems to be a memo with the very simple words, "You're doing a good job, Becker," from Karen with the save letterhead on it and the typical memo thing in the corner that indicates to you it's a memo.
I'm going to look over at Alan and Amy. Maybe he's been like brainwashed. And we need to, confine him. Maybe in like a smaller
I think
room.
everyone here's been brainwashed.
They don't get paid enough for that shit.
Let's check on Leroy.
You do see that the person who tripped and fell is trying to pick up all of the papers off the floor, and someone comes down to help them, and they do the head bump thing where they both bump heads trying to pick up things, and then they both fall over like they've just been hit over the head by some sort of large mallet or something.
Okay. Let's go check on Leroy to see if whatever happened here has reached his basement dwelling. If yes, then we know something happened the entire mountain, I guess. If not, then I don't know. Something just happened up here. It's a lead.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Becker,
Yes?
I will.
Someone chants in from the cubicles, "To you, and you, and you, and you, and you."
I don't know if I can do this, guys. I'm losing it.
I've been here for 10 minutes. I've never wanted to go home more in my life.
Do you think it would be amiss if we just knocked everyone out for like 10 minutes? 20 minutes?
How would you do
Probably.
that? Let's just go.
Plotting murder.
I'm going to try and knock Becker out.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let's do it then. All right, so you're going to try to knock Becker out. Becker, because you haven't taken an action yet in this particular combat that we're suddenly starting, you can take the opportunity to do like a defensive action, but you could just let her try to hit you. That's fine.
If it seems like she's trying to strike him, Becker will go into full-on dance dodge mode.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go ahead. Sorry, I'm going to open. I didn't expect a combat to break out, so I'm going to have to bring up some things that I need for this.
Well,
All
watch
right.
Becker start to dance and sway around trying to dodge. I'm just dead inside. And this is the worst day of my life.
All right, so you are going to attempt to punch Becker, is that right? Or do you have a weapon of some kind you're going to use?
I don't have a weapon, but I am slight and quick on my feet. I'm going to try and knock him out in terms of suffocate him from behind. If I can do that.
Yeah, okay. So this would be a close quarters combat roll. And we'll see how well you do. Becker is trying to dance out of the way. So we'll have him do a roll as well. We didn't make any stats for Becker, did we?
No, we didn't.
All right, so this will be fun. Make it up as we go.
Cool.
Let's see. Cool. All right. Why don't you go ahead then and just roll the dice. We'll see what we do. I'll aim for like say, I don't know. Does Becker's close quarters combat see about 40 to you?
I think it'd be a little higher than that, if only because his family.
Oh yeah, he has a huge family. I forgot about that. Yeah, so we'll go with 50-ish. Sound right?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I got a 44.
All right.
got a 48.
44. All right, so Becker has a success, low success, but Frankie, that would be, if I'm looking at your character sheet correctly, you have a close quarters combat of 33. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be a botch. All right, I turn to my token. You try to go to grab for Becker, and he just gets out of the way in a way that Alereg is going to tell us about.
He promptly, as soon as he realizes that she's attempting to try and choke him out, he fully turns in her grasp, grabs her hands, and starts to tango with her. Like his hand is on like her back, small of her back, and his hands, his left hand's with her right hand. And it's just da dun da dun da dun dun da dun.
I take it back. This is kind of amusing.
Yeah, you are now tangoing with Becker.
I'd like to roll for trauma. Is there a trauma roll? I think Frankie is freaking out.
Okay.
I take psychic damage from this.
Make a willpower roll then, and it would just be minor trauma. So we'll see if you can knock it down to just being distressed.
48.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just distressed. You're at -5 willpower, so your current willpower will go down to 45, and you are like, this is a traumatic experience, but you're just a little distressed.
Okay, I will unhinge myself from this tango and walk over to almost behind Al and Amy and looking very upset.
No, I've changed my mind. Maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe we should just get to work, let it do its thing. It'll probably be all fixed by Monday.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. That was just very funny.
So they walk
he's
over.
not wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving away from Becker, does Becker stop tangoing with the air?
No, he's still tangoing, and as he's tangoing, he's continuing to work as he has a clipboard and he's doing writing of memos and such as he needs upon it.
Very good.
In triplicate, of course.
Of course. As is necessary in this office. So the three of you observe as Becker goes about his work, continuing to tango and write things down on his memo sheets on his clipboard.
What if this spreads to one of us?
If that happens, I give both of you full permission to reach down to my hip, grab my firearm, and shoot me with it.
I promise.
I don't want to do the paperwork for that. Sorry.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot there was paperwork
Mostly
involved.
because it means
yeah.
we'll have to spend longer in this fucking place.
It is 9:12, quite a long time away from 5 o'clock.
Okay. I think we should move into the rest of the building and see how hectic this has gotten.
Got around. You smart.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also,
oh, good.
I was gonna say, there's also the whole thing about the Johns being on a warpath, but I don't know what a warpath is going to look like in this. So, yeah, let's get our bearings here.
Where is it that you want to move to first to look around? The main area, the break room, the records room. You did mention Leroy's place.
We saw Roy going into where again?
Leroy?
Or Roger.
Oh, Roger. You saw Roger going into the women's restroom dancing with his mop bucket.
Okay, I just want to poke my head in to see if he's, singing and dancing still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you poke your head in, he seems to be trying to nominally pick the water up off the floor that is coming from a brown dripping spot in the ceiling of the women's restroom. But at this moment, he's currently leaning his mop down and singing into the head of it like it's like an old microphone on a stand kind of thing.
And no earphones in.
No earphones in. No, he does not have them. He just seems to be enjoying his workday.
I'm just gonna slowly let the door close as I leave. Where do we want to go?
I'm gonna check out the break room really quick, but then after that, let's head down to Leroy's. I'm curious to see if he's been affected, either by distance or the fact that he's dead.
What?
Not a zombie.
No, I don't know about that. I'm gonna go check the break room.
Okay.
Why?
In the break room, you find a person that seems to be giving some kind of monologue about their sandwich to another person. The other person, however, seems to be having trouble, like, drinking their coffee that's coming from the coffee pot that seems to be there. This is a new one, acquired yesterday, it seems. They pour their coffee, and they seem to miss the mug, and then they overpour, and then they go to drink, and each time they try to bring the cup up to their face, the monologuing person says something interesting, and it causes them to, like, lower it. So just constantly going up and down and up and down while they're trying not to laugh hysterically at the monologue, which is really by far the most boring monologue you've ever heard. But for whatever reason, this person seems to be completely enraptured by it. Like they're putting way more emphasis and pretending that they think it's interesting.
I'm gonna blink a few times, then go to pour myself a cup of coffee, and as I do, I just want to really look at it and check it. And also, while I'm in there, I want to go ahead and try to sense the unknown as well.
Okay. Well, the coffee looks dark and normal. But you got a 20 on your sense the unknown.
20, have a 35. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yep. So just a low success for you this time, not one of them high successes. Yeah, there's something unknown going on. You get the vague sense that everyone is a little off, that there's some kind of unknownness happening here, but it seems to be maybe environmental.
In that case, afterwards, I want to head to the records room and check through for instances of like curses or spells or anything that might cause this kind of behavior. Maybe even like looking back on information of like the dancing plague from France, things like that.
Ooh, okay. So moving out of the break room, you come across someone who spinning in their chair and laughing about it in like the kind of laughter that someone only does when they're either a small child or they're faking it for TV. But the records room is apparently unwatched. No one seems to notice as you slip into it.
I'm gonna go in there and dig around and see what I can find.
All right, that would be a research roll.
Alrighty. Nope. That is a full 100. I am apparently just the worst at research.
Okay, yeah, no, you can't even find references to the dancing plague. There seems to be nothing up in this place to indicate anything related to that which you're looking for. There are some references, however, because this was one of the roles. There are some references to potentially like airborne sort of pathogens, obviously, and as well as some experiments done on psychedelics done in the 60s, and some thoughts of telepathy and convincing people through powers. I mean, you know that Kayla, if she were here, has some ability to manipulate people's feelings.
I'm just gonna be flipping through these records, just shaking my head. God, our filing is dog shit. And then I'll leave and go back, join the others.
So what were Amy and Frankie doing while Alfred was off in the records room?
Amy is going to her desk, putting a pair of headphones in, and pretending that she's not in a sitcom right now. Because that's very clearly what's happening.
Mm-hmm. There's the memo on your desk that you don't remember being there the day before that mentions Fedora Friday. This is the first time you're seeing it. There's also a memo on your desk that certainly was one that you got yesterday that reminds you of the mandatory seminar on May 26th. What is Frankie doing while Alfred is in the records room?
Frankie is sitting at Kayla's desk on Kayla's phone, calling Kayla and leaving a voice message.
Very good.
About this whole situation.
She's now at what? 200 and some, 300 and some on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And as you're leaving the message, the elevator door opens and Leroy comes out. He is walking normal and acting normal. He's pushing his cart. He seems to be like noticing everyone else, but in the way that only you would recognize he's noticing things. Like to everyone else, he's just sort of glancing side to side as he walks his sort of slow, sort of like weird lumbering walk that he does, dropping dirt the whole way as he moves through the office. He comes up to your desk and hands you a stack of envelopes and says, "Your mail." But then he sets a set of keys on your desk, which you immediately recognize as Phil's keys, and then reaches into his pocket as he looks at you with a slight smile.
Frankie is first going to be a little shocked that he's not like everybody else, but she's going to put down the phone, and before he is about to give her something, she's about to say that she's really excited that he's normal. And then when she sees the keys, I think she's just going to look at him a little strangely. Say that. And again, she'll say thank you. Wow. Step up from a pen, really. Okay. Have you noticed she's just gonna point around to the area, you know, the singing and dancing thing?
Strange people.
Yeah. You get that? She's gonna take the keys in the mail and look over at Amy. Can you hear me with your earphones on?
Sounds like
Probably
a no.
vaguely. She can understand that you're talking, but not a word that you're saying.
Okay. Well, then instead of talking, she's just gonna kind of like nod her head to Leroy, who's standing in front of her, to kind of she's gonna look at you and nod her head towards him, just so that you either take your earphones out so she can tell you that he's normal.
She'll take one out. Like, what's up?
He hasn't been affected. He's the same.
All right. Not sure what exactly that gives us, but good to know not everybody's being turned. Whatever the fuck happened to Becker.
Is it because he lives in the basement? Because everybody else leaves.
Yeah, but so do we.
I'm gonna look back to Leroy.
As you turn back to him, he's holding his hand out, like he's cupping something in his hand, and he holds it toward you. He's holding what appears to be a dead spider in his hand.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the hand and then look at him. Is this You trying to let me know something? What's this?
Mean walls. And he sets it down on your desk. And then he starts to reach toward his cart like he's going to push it away. But he's not actually leaving. He just goes back to his cart.
He said mean walls?
He said in wall.
In wall. The spider. She'll put it in something. I don't know, like a little vessel. Sort of just look at it. If he's still there, she's going to ask if he's been here like all day and if anything weird happened.
Yes. And he just kind of looks over at everyone. You see some people seem to be joining Becker as he's moving around the office. Somebody steps up and they tango with him for a second before going back to whatever it was that they were doing. He just happened to be passing by them at the time.
Okay. Yeah, people are weird today. But we all left, yesterday, right? And then they came back. So are you saying they came back this morning and they were like this? Or did something happen while they were here and then they turned into this?
He turns back and looks at you and says, no. Came back. Yes. And then he starts to walk away.
I think this time I will walk over to Amy and sit on her desk and hold out the little jar spider and just wait.
Does it look like a normal spider?
It does look like a normal spider.
What kind of spider?
Good question. I'm not sure. Probably a typical kind of house spider thing. Not anything dangerous, deadly, or poisonous.
Like a daddy long legs or something.
Something, yeah.
What do you make of this?
It looks like a spider. We might have to call an exterminator.
No, he said that something was strange or something was in the walls. Something was about this was strange and it was in the wall. What do you think about that?
I think you're showing me a spider and giving me very little to go on.
Okay. I don't 100% know what the spider actually means, but... And mid-sentence, she's gonna kind of put the little vial on your desk and sort of just trail off. Maybe we should just call it like an early day, and go back home.
As much as I would love to do that, if the Johns are already upset, I'd rather not do something to piss them off more.
Well, Leroy said that they all came here, like came back here, like from leaving from work as normal people, and then they showed up like this. So I'm not really sure what that means.
Maybe
That
they
would
got
be about this
way
time.
too into theater.
It would be about this time that Alfred would eventually realize that the records in this place are absolute dog shit and is frustrated.
Yeah. Well, records still suck. Find out anything else over here?
They apparently have a spider problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you the spider in the little container. I'm just gonna push it in your face for you to see in the clear container. Without...
Yeah, that is a dead spider.
Leroy says there's things in the walls. Maybe spiders. Maybe weird things that look like spiders. Maybe there's something wrong with the spiders.
Maybe. So what I managed to find said things like pathogens, airborne, the airborne variety, mind-affecting things could have caused this. Maybe some kind of venom or, I don't know, spores.
Should we test it?
By going into the walls.
Yeah, I'll go into the wall.
I feel like you shouldn't go into the walls if you don't know what you're looking for.
Come
If
on.
anyone's going to the walls, at least have me do it. I have a weapon.
You guys never let me go to the walls, ceiling.
I can't imagine why.
I think if anyone should not be in a place like that, it's you, because I worry on what you could accomplish with that extra domain at your fingertips.
Great things. Great things. Leroy also said that everyone showed up here today like this.
As in, they left work yesterday and then came here today already,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we're going to call this. Then,
Yeah.
Insane.
Sure. Then what the hell happened? Because we're all clearly fine. At least the three of us, and Leroy.
I don't know. Maybe
Leroy doesn't leave.
Phil
know.
was also fine when you passed him, and the security guards appeared to be fine.
Oh, Phil was also fine. By the way, Leroy gave me Phil's keys.
Oh, no. I don't need two of you, especially one being a zombie.
He's not a zombie. I don't know how many times I've
Not
said
nice to talk about Frankie like that.
it. Okay, rude. What I mean to say is, it was a bit of a step up from pencils or the pens that he was giving me.
Didn't he steal a coffee maker last week?
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
But he didn't give it to me, did he?
No, it was just in his room.
Oh. Yeah, that. I don't care about that. I only care about things that people take and then give to me. Obviously.
You have a
That is-
strange head on your shoulders.
Anyway. So we should test the spider.
Yeah, let's go check out the walls. Wall space in the walls. Where do we even get into the walls from?
I have been wondering that myself quite some time.
Gotta ask Roger.
Oh yeah. He was having an intimate moment with the broom or the mop in the bathroom.
Not ask Roger.
And know anyone else that knows how to get into the walls?
What he was doing with that mop.
I'd go fucking talk to him, but he's in the women's bathroom, and I'm not gonna intrude in there.
I mean, one of us can try to talk to him. He didn't seem in the mood. And also, that conversation with Becker was
Not
I'm
helpful.
gonna lose sleep over it.
It's at this moment that Becker comes full-on pirouetting past you all, up on his tiptoes, and just on tiptoes, just walking past you inch by inch, with his arms above his head, twirling.
Becker, how do we get into the walls?
Why would I know?
You seem to know everything. Or at least know someone who knows something. Or can do something.
However, to usually get into the walls of some place like this, you'd have to smash them. Are you planning to break down the walls? You do realize that's
No.
property damage, right? And he's saying this, and he's getting closer and closer and closer. As he's looking like at Alfred now, 2 inches away.
I'll lean back a little bit. No, we're not going to smash the walls, but normally there's piping and stuff behind it, so there has to be some sort of access way.
After a very uncomfortable pause, he says, I'd imagine you'd have to ask Roger then.
That's what I was saying.
All right. Amy, go ask her.
As
Yeah, you
Amy
want
goes
to
off.
by me again?
We just had a whole conversation with Becker. Twice.
Becker is now continuing to tiptoe very slowly, ballerina-esque style, away from you guys.
Oh, fuck it.
I'm going to
out.
push somebody down the stairs by the end of today.
Yeah, you and me both.
I'll help you. Okay. To the women's bathroom.
As you go to stand up to move toward the women's bathroom, both John Vert and John Blanc step up to your bullpen. They are wearing their typical suits that look almost identical. And now that they're right next to each other, you can realize that there are enough differences between them that they don't actually look like the same person. They're definitely different people. John Vert has his green mug, his signature green mug in his hand, while John Blanc has a standard, typical, boring-looking white coffee mug in his hand. They approach, and John Blanc says, "Well, hello, all three of you. How has your day been? Good, I hope."
Terrible.
Ugh.
Honestly, real bad.
Worse.
John Vert, he says, "Is it because you have not been doing your paperwork properly? For we noticed a date was wrong on the last ones."
That's Frankie's fault.
Blanc says, "Well, we can overlook that. I think perhaps 'tis not but something simple. At least it was in triplicate."
Yep, sure was. Anything we can do for you, Johns?
John Vert looks at his cup and swirls it a little bit, and he says, "There seems to be a grave problem here. For it came to our attention that John Rouge signed your recent Form 997 to acquire the Eye of Moat item from acquisitions. Is that correct?"
Yeah. Yes, he sure did.
That's my understanding of the matter.
John Blanc sips his coffee and says, "Well, it'd be very wonderful if that were the case, except that we do not know when you met with John Rouge, for he does not seem to remember."
Oh, what
I've
day?
also heard
What
that he
day?
hasn't been seen since he went to talk
Yeah.
with Big John.
It really
Mhm.
seems like a him problem.
Yep.
We
Tis
did everything
true,
right.
tis true. Tis very true indeed. John Vert looks at his cup again and then looks at you. He has this incredibly incredibly strong scowl on his face, and he says, "So, when did you receive your save letter?"
Or can you be more specific?
Well, for
get
the
a lot of
necessity of filing a Form 997, it must be that you have been called to the field.
Ah, that letter. Right.
Are you saying you were
I-
attempting to acquire an item without a necessity, Frankie?
No, I would not ever do that. So yes, we did have a save letter, and I'm just so bad with organization. So I put it here somewhere. But papers just walk away in this office.
What I think happened, Frankie? It was when Dirk from accounting was over here. He was chatting with you for a bit. He put his files down on his desk to talk with you. And then when he picked them all up, he might have grabbed it as well. So it could be over in his desk if you guys want to go check. John's.
Right,
It sounds like sounds like a deception thing you're trying to pull here to me. Well, fortunately, we can make a roll with that. Frankie, what is your deception currently?
My deception?
Yeah, didn't you pick that up last time you used a development point?
I did. Remember that. 65.
Okay. Why don't you make a roll for me?
A 3.
John Blanc, holding his cup.
Is there
says,
anything I can do since I was the one that said it to maybe help?
I mean, you also are deceiving. You could try to. You don't necessarily
I don't have deception, but
deception, right? But you can make a communications roll. Let's see if
it's
you
not the
can
best
succeed
in the
on that.
world, but we'll try. Actually, that succeeds. That's 34 out of 40.
Oh, nice. So both of the Johns sort of turn to look at Frankie, and you can see the scowl on John Vert's face grow. He doesn't seem to be really believing you for a moment, but Alfred's convincing story that the letter might have wandered over to Dirk's office seems to catch them, and they both turn back and look at him, and then John Blanc says, "Well, yes, these things happen round here, don't they? Don't they, my good sir?" And John Vert says, "Well, I guess they do. You are correct, sir."
You know that Dirk, he's got sticky fingers.
Sticky fingers from the donuts from last week?
No, it's just a general expression, but maybe. Does seem
Both of
like the
them-
most cleanly guy.
Both of them laugh heartily when they realize you're making a joke, and one of them pats you on the back as he sort of leans forward far more than he needs to with his deep laughter. Oh, you are a funny one there, Alfred.
Yep, that's me.
Indeed. Well, shall we check with Dirk? John Fritz says, "For now." And he gives you all a scowl. Says, "For now." And then they both just kind of slowly walk backwards and away from you, keeping their eyes on you as they go.
Great
I'll wait
speaking
until
with you.
I'll wait until they're out of earshot and then turn and be like, all right, let's find a way into the walls quickly to at least avoid them.
Yeah, let's go.
So
I
find
thought
Roger.
Becker was bad.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to attempt to find a way into the walls, or did you want to talk to Roger?
I think
just
we want to talk to Roger because he might know an easier way than us. Just trial and erroring it.
So who's going into the women's restroom? Is it both Amy and Frankie? Is it all three of you? Is it just one of you?
I'm going to stand a respectful distance away from the women's restroom and sort
I
of
figured
just
as much.
hang around as if I'm not standing really close to it conspicuously because that's weird. So I'm trying to act casual.
You're the one that saw him doing whatever the hell he was doing with that mop, so I think you're the most prepared for this conversation.
Dang it. Okay. Frankie will go in.
Okay. As you step into the women's restroom, you find Roger in the middle of Hound Dog by Elvis Presley, and he's still spinning the mop around and dancing with it.
Frankie is going to let the door close behind her, but she's going to stay as far away from him as possible after the tango fiasco. And she's just going to be like, Roger, I hate to interrupt you. I see you're really busy. But there's a bit of an issue and we don't want to disturb whatever you're doing here. Figured we would just handle it ourselves. So how do we, is there like an access port that can get in between like the walls or room, like a room or something?
He gives you a dramatic sort of pause, like he's taken aback, and he says, "Whatever would you want to do in there?"
Yeah, we think there's just we think there's just a bit of a scratching sound. I know we don't have rats anymore, but we do want to make sure that they stay away. So just a quick peek. I won't go into the walls. I would have no reason to do that.
Alas, there are not many ways into the walls. However, there are access panels for the HVAC system.
Excellent. And where will one of those be?
Well, certainly. They're in between the floors. If you go into the stairwell, you'll find them.
Okay, in between the floors and the stairwell. Any special way I need to access them, or can I just pop them open? Do I need a key?
Screwdrivers. Oh, hold on. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like a hex tool set with a bunch of like hexagonal tool keys on it. And he hands it to you. This shall take off the panels. Shall be good.
Excellent. Well,
hope you find the scratching, and if it happens to be a mechanical malfunction, let me know.
Will do that. She's gonna start backing out and open the door. Thank you very much. I will get these back to you. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
As you slip through the door, he just grabs the mop by the handle again and turns to it and starts singing Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Belting it out.
She's gonna stay in the door for just a second and kind of be like, all right. I mean, he's really going for it. Okay. And then close the door. And go back to Amy and Al looking shell-shocked.
I hate to admit it. He's got a pretty good voice.
I mean, he wasn't bad, honestly, but this experience is crazy. Well, yeah. I know where to go, and I have the keys. So.
Lead the way, then.
Let's get going.
I'm going to lead them to one of the floors in the middle and try to find an access panel.
Okay. So moving through the office turns out to be quite a bit more challenging than you'd expect. I'm going to have you all make a movement roll as you try to navigate what appears to be musical style dance number that starts to occur around you, but in an office setting. So people handing papers to each other, spitting in their chairs and things, stepping between cubicles for no reason whatsoever.
It's like fucking High School Musical. Oh.
40.
Yep.
I think I win.
12 out of 40. I'm not even trying to avoid it. I'm just walking through them and forcing them to part around me through sheer force of will.
Okay. Yeah, you seem to be, stepping in all the right places to just miss the people that are moving around you. Frankie, you did fine. You also seem to be dodging them, but you do it not like Alfred, who seems to just be moving through like he knows where they're going to be. You're dodging people pretty deftly. Yeah. Amy, what is your movement?
40.
That's so. So you, unfortunately, with your 69, get hit and bumped and controlled and pulled into a cubicle here or there. You get caught up in the number for a moment where you seem to be accidentally doing what is choreographed for you to do as the people move around you and such, and grab you and say things randomly out of context that you have no clue what they're talking about. but you will eventually make it across the office.
Amy, for a moment, considers turning and walking towards the front door. But they've got shit to do, so...
Frankie's gonna put her hand on your shoulder, just look at you solemnly. We can do this.
Not if there's another musical number.
You're not sure who the main person in that musical number was. It seemed like everyone thought they were the main character in that musical number. But you make it to the stairwell, and then going down the stairs, you reach a landing that's between, and you see these HVAC access panels. They've always been there. You've always kind of known that they were there. You just never really thought about them. And now that you have a need or reason to kind of go between the walls, as it were, now they're important to you. They are latched on the walls, just like the one at the very bottom, of which you know that if you move it, you would go into Leroy's lair. Much like that one, only these all have these screws with hex key joints on them, the hex key sort of hexagonal slot to be able to remove them or to screw them in or out.
Okay. She's gonna use the tool to unscrew them all.
Sure. It takes a moment, you gotta like size it up. So you like try one and it's too small, and you try another one, it's too big, and then you eventually find the right one. For anyone who's tried to use one of those tools, you can never quite get it right on the first try. But you get it, and then you unscrew all of the screws, and the panel is free. Opening up, you find that it is actually fairly empty on the other side. It's sort of open, like chamber with filters in it, but also has tubes and electrical wires, some piping. But it's really just kind of this empty chamber on the other side. You can kind of move the chamber over or pull the filters out, and you find that it's just basically the wall on the other side. So in between the walls.
Do I see any fighters or any evidence?
That's a good question. So for this one, you're gonna have to do some investigation, I think.
Okay. Mm. 70.
Do you want to flip a token dark and succeed?
Yes.
Okay. I now have a whole lot of dark tokens to work with, for there are no light tokens and 6 dark ones.
No.
Very good. You look into the wall, and what you do see when you're kind of looking is some scurrying of some spiders. But you, I'm going to flip a token. Suddenly get hit in the face with some puff of air or something.
Puff of air.
Make for me a reflexes roll if you could. Ooh. Okay. The puff of hair hits you in the face. You do you want to? There's some opportunities you have. I think maybe you could do a takeaway, perhaps. Not sure if any apply. You don't have any more tokens. Oh, I take that back. You do have 1 token to flip because I did a thing. So you now have 1 token. If you want to flip that and try to succeed, you're 1 over what you need.
I think I'm gonna step back and look back at Amy and Al and just let them know what I'm looking at and have them try.
Okay. So the puff of air and dust hits you in the face. And as you step back to talk to them, for whatever reason, you feel the urge to do it in the most dramatic way possible.
No way. She is going to just turn around and sort of still give them a rundown of what she's looking at, but with a little bit more flourish in her hands, almost as if she's kind of like Vanna White.
Okay. So the two of you, Amy and Alfred, see Frankie as she explains what she's seeing and giving you the opportunity to look in the walls yourselves, but doing so as if she is Vanna White. Hand motions that are over-exaggerated, etc.
Oh, fuck. I told you I should have gone first because I have a weapon here. And I kind of reach into my jacket ball, like one of the mini flashlights, and at a respectful distance kind of shine it into the wall.
Mm-hmm. As you do,
or go ahead. I was just saying, I just want to see what I can see in that crawl space.
Sure. So you look in, and you can see what appears to be a large, with the flashlight, you can see a swarm of spiders in the walls. They scurry away from the light, but the sheer amount of them is going to cause you to have to make a willpower roll from this distressing experience.
That is 62 out of 50, so fail.
You're distressed. -5. You get a distress here. You're in -5 from your current willpower. So it was 50, right? So it's 45 now. Very good.
Oh, fucking shit. Okay, maybe we don't go in there. Well, they don't seem to like the light at least, but I really don't like the looks of... That's a fuck ton of spiders.
You know, there's an actual solution to this.
I know what you're thinking, and I like the idea. However, it might burn down the entire office as well.
Are you saying that's a bad thing?
No, but I do still enjoy getting a paycheck.
Yeah, that's fair. Should we go
Is there
ask
any-
Becker if he's got any family members that are exterminators?
Or we can check acquisition, see if there's some sort of mega bug spray relic or something of that nature.
Yeah, but how are we gonna get it? Frankie seems a little out of it.
Yeah, I see that. Well, we won't have the problem that we did last time because we actually will have a use for it. So we can say that there are a swarm of spiders in our walls.
Should we take one? And we can put it in the little vase. And they can be friends? To show
No?
that we have.
How are we gonna get one?
Frankie turns around and goes back to the wall and just tries to pick one up with her hand.
Don't go back to the wall. I'm gonna try to block the way. I don't need whatever's going on with you to progress further. I'm kind of squints. They don't look venomous, do they?
I mean, no.
They do not. Yeah.
Then I'll try to very quickly just reach and grab one, reach out.
Okay. Agility, I guess? Or reflexes. I guess this is agility, because it wouldn't be trying to dodge or anything.
Sure, we can't go over reflexes?
Okay, why not? Go for it.
Oh, thank you. 8. Wouldn't matter either way.
Either way, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
I can't come back to Discord. Why is it not? There we go.
Oh.
All right, 8. That is a high success, my friend. I assume, because I assume your number is at least pretty decent.
Yes. Agility is 40. Reflex is 65.
Yeah, so that's a high success. So yeah, you're able to snatch one out of the wall and grab it without it scurrying away or without any kind of damage to yourself.
He's gonna whirl around Frankie. Take it.
She's gonna open up her little vial and let you pop it in.
I shake my hand until it falls in.
She's gonna close the vial.
This appears to be the cutest spider you've ever seen before in your life, Frankie.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna name her Cheryl.
Nope, absolutely not. Amy's gonna take the vial.
No. Cheryl.
We have a lab. We can take that too, right?
This is the saddest thing that's ever happened to you as Amy steals your Cheryl away.
She's gonna literally fall to her knees and begin weeping, but like in a sad, silent way. And she's gonna kind of look up at you with big eyes, like a cat.
Going to
I
slowly
give her 30
reach
seconds.
to my hip.
Something else.
Surely she would want us to put her out of her misery, right? Because this just isn't. This isn't right.
Commit her, and you can't commit her.
No. Not even gets Frankie.
No.
I didn't hear what you just said.
They're planning on shooting you, Frankie, or something. This is the most you've been offended your entire life.
She's gonna get up. Like, fine. I will just get another Cheryl. And she's gonna turn around and try to go back.
Do not reach into the crawl space again.
She's gonna ignore you and start getting into the crawl space and get another spider.
I'm gonna try to block her. This is for your own good.
This appears to be some kind of close quarters thing. All right. Well, based on that, it would be Alfred trying to do a thing, so that would be a close quarters combat roll. Frankie, you haven't acted in combat. Would you like to sort of do something about this, or just let it happen and then try to take an action yourself?
I'm gonna let it happen and see what he did.
Okay.
It's just regular close quarters combat, or can I use?
Do you have some martial arts? I forget.
Yeah, I have mixed martial arts. I'm really just trying to block her, like just stand in like the access ways that she can't get to it and like fill up the space. But if I could mess around with some mixed martial arts to do that,
you absolutely would. The mixed martial arts would absolutely apply here because mixed martial arts include clinch maneuvers and takedowns and things. You absolutely would be able to like block her and sort of hold her back.
Yeah, I don't want to try to like physically restrain or anything yet. I just want to keep her from going in.
Yeah, you just know the techniques.
That's a 71 out of 40. Can I say I fail by trying to block her, but instead fall backwards into the crawl space?
Yeah, you can absolutely make it that bad for you if you would like.
Yeah, sure would. Just like fucking shit.
So you fall into the wall. There's a scattering of the dark figures around you, the spiders, as it were, and then they start coming back with like a resurgence. You're gonna have to make another willpower roll for me to not get distressed again. This would actually be a minor one. So if you fail, you'll have a minor one. If you succeed, it'll jump down to distressed.
39 out of 45.
All right, so you just get distressed, so minus another 5.
Because I kind of like quickly grab my flashlight and quickly try to shine around at them to ward them off.
Does scatter them, but Frankie gets to take an action. Frankie, what did you want to do?
When he falls down, I'm gonna essentially like climb over him. So I'm kind of still pinning him. Still trying to get into the crawl space to grab a spider as they come down before they go back up.
Yeah, as they resurge back toward him. Okay. We're kind of rolling off reflexes at this point because I've already said it a couple of times now.
Okay. 13.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Again, like Alfred did, you're able to snatch one very carefully before he can get away.
Damn it, Frankie.
Spider down.
Is the second cutest spider you've ever seen before in your life, Cheryl being the first cutest, but this one's a close second.
To make sure they can't get it, she's going to put it in her hair so that it can kind of just, bury in. That way they
That's
can't
not
take it.
sanitary.
Well, it goes in.
Frankie. Also, get off of me.
She's going to get up.
And the flashlight scares the rest of back, so they pulse backwards.
Quickly scramble to my feet and step out of the space. Great. We have 2 spiders now. One is in a vial. The other one is now nesting in Frankie's hair, potentially laying eggs and doing all sorts of other disgusting things.
Her name's Cheryl.
They're both named Cheryl.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so do we take Cheryl to the lab?
Yeah,
Which
do we need to... It doesn't matter which one.
I don't think we're going to get the one that you have out of your scalp, so probably the one that's in the vial, safe and secure. Because again, these might be potential threats.
Did I tell them about the puff of air?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay. I will relay that. I mean, when I was in there, the spiders didn't hurt me. I just got some dust on me or something. Something kind of flew into my eyes.
Like an airborne pathogen.
Sure. I guess. I don't know what those feel like.
They feel a lot like regular air.
Yeah, they do.
Either way, let's see if, for all we know, this swarm maybe is able to create some sort of air current because they're unknown or whatever the fuck. Let's just test these spiders, see if there's anything special about them. Because I do not want to venture deeper into the fucking walls with that many spiders around.
I don't want to venture into the walls with any number of spiders just sitting around.
Alright.
Alright, let's go dissect this thing.
Okay.
Wait, what?
And
We're gonna
don't
go
worry
investigate the spider.
She's gonna
Okay.
kind of narrow her eyes at you.
I'm just gonna steer Frankie by the shoulders. Don't worry. Spider's gonna go on a lovely vacation after the lab. It's gonna have a spider mimosa. It's gonna go to the beach and do whatever the fuck spiders like to do, Frankie.
Okay. We find our 3 envoys coming to the lab on the 3rd floor. There's these containment cells. They don't usually come to the 3rd floor. There's not really a reason to come to the 3rd floor. So it's not something they're super familiar with, but there are these containment cells. And then there is this contained lab where a very clearly posted sign indicates that it's R&D and no access without the proper authority. But as they come to the door, there seems to be the wackiest game of science slip-ups happening on the other side. There's a small workstation for agents and envoys that are trying to look through some clues. That is right inside the lab, and that's usually where you can go. You'd step in through the containment doors and then go to that. The rest of it all has separate badge access that none of you have ever tried to open, so you're not sure. But you can see all these scientists inside these glass cells and containers, it's big labs and stuff. They seem to be spilling things on themselves or slipping or laughing hysterically or various other things. Things just seem to be going just as bad here in the lab as they were going on upstairs.
Well, I don't think we can trust any of them to run the test for us.
And I assumed we were going to have to do it ourselves anyway.
Yep. And by the way, as we're like walking along or walking in, and I'm steering Frankie by the shoulders, I want to attempt to use the art to heal her and see if this works.
Okay, I'll flip a token for you, and then you're going to try to make that roll. Is that correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It will be 60. Yep, 47 out of 60.
Nice. Yeah, you managed to get your hands on her, and you can feel that energy that passes through you into other people, that mends their bones or, works through their system. You can feel it pass through you. And Frankie, you feel this. What does it actually feel like, Gary, as Alfred uses his power?
It feels a lot like just cold water running just beneath your skin from like the origins of where he touched you to like just spreading from that point all across your body.
Feels like you're underwater, but that water is under your skin.
Okay.
And as it passes through you, so like almost like a flushing feeling, the dramaticness goes away.
Okay.
And you have a spider in your hair.
Yes. Do I know that he just did that?
Yeah, I mean, you're aware that he has this ability.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take my hands away. Feeling any better?
Yeah. A little cooler. I was getting a little heated there. Thanks for that. I put a spider in my hair.
Yep, you sure did.
You sure did.
You're not getting that out anytime soon.
Well, I will, I suppose, deal with that at another time.
I'll get some like lye shampoo or something of that nature. Because I wasn't kidding about the laying egg spit. It might actually do that.
Great. Can I just put my hands in my hair to see if I can feel it?
Sure, yeah, you can run your hands through your hair. A couple of passes and you don't quite feel it. Maybe you touch it, but it scurries a little bit on your head. You can now feel it moving around on your scalp.
Great. Okay.
Also, it might not be venomous, but since it's a spider and since it's dirty, it might carry over some
Thank you.
germs that will cause
Very
sickness, and you really
I do get it.
should get some
I get
special
it.
shampoo for that.
All right.
This wouldn't be a problem if you didn't put a spider in your hair, Frankie.
You did do that.
Okay, guys, listen. It's a really rough day, I think, for all of us, right? So how about we work together?
I'm just trying to give some good advice.
I am going to maybe find something in this lab that I can just really quickly douse on my head.
Maybe we want to be quick with it. I think a barn spire, your typical barn spire, lays about 500 eggs at once.
Okay. I can't with you, Al. She's gonna just back away from you.
And then if those ones hatch and will lay 500 eggs as well, just exponentially increase and not good.
Frankie's gonna go and rummage around the lab to see if she can find something to get the spider out of her hair.
Oh, there's all kinds of chemicals and liquids various bottles and labels.
Here, mayonnaise is a really good trick for suffocating insects, like lice and such.
I don't think they have mayonnaise here.
Might have some in the break
Not
room.
here. The break room, yeah.
Okay.
How about you go do that while we check out the spiders? Or you can wait and risk the potentiality of various different sicknesses and disease potentially getting passed on to you through a vermin that's living in your scalp.
Frankie is going to see if there's anything here that might help. And then she's going to go to the break room, see if she can find something.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's all kinds of chemicals. How familiar is Frankie with chemicals and the like?
Unless it's like acid, because she would be familiar with that for like, locks and whatnot. I don't think she would know anything else.
Yeah. Kind of falls into that field craft category, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you can make a roll to see if you can find a fieldcraft roll, see if you can find something useful in this particular situation, knowing that acid is not a good idea. And
71.
what it looks like. Yeah, so there's all kinds of chemicals. You're not entirely sure what most of them do.
Great. She will pick up one that she doesn't think
Do
is
not
acid.
put that in your hair. Don't put any random chemicals in the lab in your hair. That's worse than the spider being there. I assure you. The chemical burns, all kinds of. Don't just, Frankie.
Just put it down.
Put that down. When we're done here, or now, whichever you prefer, just go to the break room, see if there's any mayonnaise. Put in your hair. Trust me, it actually does work.
I think Frankie is literally just standing there with some sort of mystery vial while Al and Amy are talking to her, and she's kind of looking between them and the vial, and then them and the vial.
Just put it down.
Do you want to look like a burn victim? Because that's how you look like a burn victim.
She'll put it down. Fine. And then she'll go off to the break room.
Okay.
Actually,
Well-
can I stop to see if I can find Leroy first and then go to the break room?
Sure. Where do you think he might be?
I'm assuming he's done his round, so he might be in the mailroom.
All right, we'll handle that in a second then. As you do the mailroom thing and then go see if you can get to some mayonnaise out of the break room. And we'll go to Alfred and Amy, who are looking at Cheryl in their vial and potentially with the equipment in the lab here. So you both wanted to look at the spider. What did you want to do to check it out?
Well, as Frankie leaves the room, I'm going to call out one last time. Oh, yeah, and keep in mind that some spiders like to carry their young on their abdomen, so there might already be more in your head, so be careful.
How?
Just trying to be helpful. And once she's gone, I'll turn back. All right, so yeah, let's run some tests.
Yeah,
All right,
I
so
mean,
this would...
no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, like checking its fangs, seeing if it is some weird subspecies of spider that is in fact a weird type of venom. You know, checking its abdomen for like hairs like tarantulas have, because at this point I don't think it's actually a normal spider. Basically just looking over every part of it to see if I can find anything weird.
Yeah, so this would fall under the investigation skill category. This would be kind of like something in the neighborhood of forensics or something of that nature. It's not quite clear, but it would probably fall under that. Yeah.
While she does that, I'll kind of take stock of the lab itself, kind of look for things I'm familiar with as a medical examiner and use that to my advantage. Maybe get some like cotton swabs ready to swab the spider and then test it under like a microscope or whatever to see if there's anything unique.
Yeah, for sure.
That is a colossal success.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna turn one of these back to light. Okay. So, yeah, you're looking at the spider, and Alfred is helping you with the cotton swabs and the whatnots. The spider is a normal spider, a normal everyday household spider. Nothing weird about it. It's not a deformed or deranged version of it. It is just a regular spider. However, it does seem to have some kind of chemical on its back or something. There's some kind of substance on its back. It seems like this spider, as well as potentially other spiders, seem to have gone through something, and whatever it was that they went through is sort of flaking off as they move around and getting sucked into the HVAC system and spread around the building. That's what you can tell. This is just some sort of thing that's flaking off of it.
Right.
Fuck. Well, what do we do about that?
To get rid of the spiders at this point.
The spider, because I'm giving you more clues because you have a colossal success. The spider, as you're looking at it, you realize that like there's lots of spiders throughout buildings and barns and houses and things. But one thing is that there's a tendency for the crew down here in this lab to use insects for some of their experiments. It has all the telltale signs of being one of the lab spiders based on its coloration.
You think there's a chance that the lab was running a test on these things, and they got out, spread, procreated, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You think they engineered an antidote before that happened?
Knowing our R&D department, maybe.
50-50? If not, we can try to
70-30.
wrangle the crew to make one. Yeah, that's more accurate. We can try to wrangle the crew if they haven't made one to make. We'll make one, but with how things are right now, that might be like herding cats, but I don't see us with many other choices, so see if we can get one.
Before we do anything, N95 masks, if we have any, gloves, everything.
Yeah, no, I carry some on me for medical stuff, and I'll reach into my jacket, pull like the blue latex gloves, put my own on, hand some to Amy. Same goes for like the typical mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you certainly carry those things on you because you intend whenever you're out in the field to get involved in whatever injuries people have or whatnot. In this day and age, in the post COVID world, that you have masks in your pocket for sure.
Yep. So I'll hand those and keep in mind to give Frankie some next time we see her. Right, all right, let's go find that crew who's worked on these, maybe.
Yeah. At least find where they were working on it, see if we can find their notes, figure out what's going on exactly.
And if we can get an antidote, maybe we can pump it through the air conditioning vents and see if that counteracts it.
Okay. We'll jump to Frankie in the mailroom, and then we'll come back to the two of you after you look around. Make one investigate roll from me, both of you, to see how well you do, and then I'll come back to you.
All right. 52 out of 70.
I failed.
Okay. All right. Frankie, you make it to the second floor, and just as you suspected, the elevators are probably the fastest way to the second floor from where you are now. So when you get to the second floor, as you suspected, you see Leroy heading into the mailroom, which strangely you can see, but it seems to be the end of the hall or something.
Oh, it's in a different location.
No, it's in the same location as far as you remember, but you feel like there should be more hall here, but Doesn't seem like it.
Okay. Well, Frankie's a little frantic right now, so she's just going to go up to him, but allow him to go into the mailroom, so they both go into the mailroom.
It's pretty much the same as it was before. A bunch of pneumatic tubes, a bunch of papers laid out, another cart, envelopes all over the place, memos, all kinds of memos. It makes sense to you when you come into the room behind him that you get your memos a little late. There is so many memos, and he's got to fold them all and stuff them in envelopes and then deliver them to everybody. It seems to be the only one that works here.
Man, they gotta get you an assistant or something, but that's not why I'm here. Leroy,
Yes.
I have a spider in my hair. We don't need to go into how it got there, I think, but can you get it out?
And he's taller than you, like a good foot and a half taller than you. He leans down and starts preening your hair with his large fingers. It feels almost a primate-like in the way that he's doing it, but he's picking through your hair, and then eventually he grabs something and pulls it out, and you see him holding the spider that's still sort of squirming in his fingers, but he's holding it tightly. Spider.
I can't believe that actually worked. She's so excited. Oh, wow. Thank you. I don't really know what we should do with that. I guess maybe I'll have another vial and put the spider in another vial.
Do you have a vial on you?
I have no idea. I'm gonna assume I have a bunch of stuff on me at all time.
Sure. I think that you probably don't. You probably only had one vial, because I don't know if you'd carry a bunch of vials. But fortunately for you, Leroy has a whole bunch of envelopes. And he picks up an envelope and puts it inside and then seals the envelope. And it's like a good seal. Like, it's not like one of those half-sealed envelopes. He fully seals it before he hands it to you.
Wow. One of my ideas actually worked. Thank you, Leroy. I will, I guess I'll give this to the guys and wash my hair just in case I have more spiders in it. So it's something I'll have to deal with later. But thank you.
What do you do now?
So everyone is still dancing. If we're on this, we're on the second floor, right?
Correct. Yep. You're
So there's
basically just
another-
around the corner from the acquisitions area, and then beyond that, the training area.
So there's another vent on this floor, or in between the stairs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I'm gonna go back down to where Al and Amy are, and on the way, I just want to check that vent.
Okay. Before you leave the mail room, Leroy says, "Tea later."
Yeah, of course, always. I love your tea. By the way, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to, disclose, because a thief's secrets, are their own. I wouldn't want to pry, but I didn't take you for someone who, picked up the craft so quickly. How did you get Phil's keys?
Look there.
Look there.
Took them.
You took them? Well, yes, that is how that works. But like, how? In what way? Were you sneaky? Did he leave them somewhere? What was your methodology?
Reach in pocket.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, that's great for you. That's good.
Misdirection.
Wow. Okay. Full misdirection and okay. Well, excellent. Those are good basic skills in the art of larceny. So that's amazing. Great. That's good. I'm really happy about that. So thank you again for the keys, and yes, we'll have tea later. Okay. I'm just gonna head out.
Okay. This time he doesn't say anything to you as you leave.
He's gonna close the mailroom door. I just gonna stand there in the hallway for a minute, kind of looking out into space. And then she's gonna start to walk down the stairs to the AC cover.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, you cross through, you walk past acquisitions, you notice Olivia's not there today. There's someone else seated in her chair. Past the training center where instead of actually training, fighting or something like you've seen them every week so far, they seem to be doing some kind of stage style combat where they're using 360 degree spheres of awareness while they kind of semi dance around each other and hit at each other with fake sticks or with like wooden sticks in ways of semi fencing style, but like very not close to trying to hit each other. Somebody's having a fake lightsaber battle amongst the crew.
She's just gonna roll her eyes. Okay.
But you get past everybody, even the instructor who seems to be standing on top of something and giving some kind of Napoleonic speech with his hand tucked in his shirt. And you get past them all and get to the stairwell door.
All right. I just want to open it up and just peek inside just to see if it's the same as the one that we looked at and see if there are any spiders here.
You take a moment to get it all off. It's not hard. You know what you're doing now. You've done this once before. It comes off, and it's very much the inside is similar to the last one, where it's just sort of an alcove, and then you sort of pull some things off, and then you can see in the wall behind it. And yeah, there's something there, but you don't really have a flashlight or anything. But in the light of the stairwell, you can kind of see that there's probably spiders up in there.
Okay. She's just going to close it then.
Okay.
And make her way back down.
Okay. So back down in the lab, the two of you have been sort of making your way, looking around. You were trying to find maybe the workstation or the notes for the person who did the thing, or perhaps try to find the person who worked on it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Alfred finds the notes while like looking around and trying to, get through the stuff. You find some notes that indicate that there was, the reason why you know that the right notes, you find a whole bunch of notes while you're going through various different things. Some of the people that are working in here, some of the researchers are like, they try to stop you, but then they go into laughing fits or something, and you still manage to like look through things. You don't have any like deeply classified stuff that you discover, but just regular notes on notebooks. You do find one, however, that refers to a pathogen that was intended to be used, potentially. It was an aerosol that would be used in an area in which you could then detect the unknown because they would be relatively unaffected by it. So it would be all of the normal non-unknown people would just start laughing or joking or having a good time, and then the unknown would just look like a sourpuss, essentially, amongst the crowd, for lack of a better way of describing what they're essentially describing in their notes. But Amy, you get distracted by various scientists. No one seems to know what the hell they're talking about. And if they do, it usually ends in some kind of very long thing that you think might be lines from a movie, perhaps, or something they read in a book somewhere, or, quoting various astronauts and their travels about space.
Well, looks like they're trying to develop some sort of spray to make other people act strangely, but wouldn't affect unknown, so you can point them out in a crowd. Seems sort of like a reverse idea on what would be a good way to go about it, but either way, apparently something was wrong with it, because well, no, never mind, we have been getting affected. Frankie has. But, well, let me see if they worked on an antidote at all, and I will look and see if there's any way to reverse it, or if they developed like a counter agent.
They did have to develop a counter agent, as one of the researchers got affected by it. The counter agent was made. However, you do see in their notes that they noted that Warfin said no to mass development. That's all it says. But there is apparently a small batch of counter agent for potentially a single person. It does. It is in one of the research lockers. It doesn't have a code for it, though, but it does tell you it's like locker 36. And there's like 80 lockers. They are numbered, however,
Is this a thing we could go
that
through?
Bureaucracy.
Is this like a thing we can go through acquisitions to get open, or are we just going to need to find our own way to open it?
You could probably go through acquisitions to get it open. That might take a while. But you could also try opening yourself if you had someone in your group who potentially knows how to unlock things that are locked.
Let's just wait for Frankie to get back.
Yeah, well, let's get Frankie. There isn't a whole lot of this. Is the problem, though, Amy. There's enough for like one person, but we need to somehow mass produce it enough to put it through the air conditioning vents to have everyone breathe in.
Yeah, I should be able to get that happening.
You think you can manage it? Then more power to you.
It is about this time that Frankie rejoins the two of you in the lab, where the antics are still occurring.
Frankie, we need you to steal some shit.
All right. She looks a little out of it, but she hears you.
You all right? You didn't breathe any more of it in, did you?
No. I did check another vent, just to see if it was all throughout the building, and yeah, there are a lot of spiders. Did you guys find anything that could take out both the spiders so that we don't get like a reinfection?
Well, that's why we need you to steal some shit. We at least have a counter agent that'll reverse the effects, but with the spider still around, it might just happen again.
Well, hopefully the counter agent will neutralize anything on the spiders themselves.
Maybe, yeah, if we're blowing it through the vents, it might settle on the spiders and then get rid of it there as well. Also, here, put these on. I'm gonna hand Frankie some gloves and a mask.
She puts them on.
Yeah. So you know which locker it's in, and you just need to get it open, unless you want to go through all the paperwork, potentially with people acting the way they're acting, to get a requisition to have someone open it for you. I assume you just want to directly open it.
Yeah, no, he's figured we were waiting for Frankie so we can have her get in there.
Yeah, they know which locker it is, Frankie, and they can point it out to you. It's pretty clearly labeled.
Okay. She's gonna get to opening it up.
Do some larceny.
20.
Man, I can't inconvenience you in many ways, but I'm gonna try. You manage to open the locker, but as you do, one of the scientists comes up to you and steps in your way, closing the locker behind themselves. And they start to talk to you about how things are in their life, and it's very dramatic. They're practically crying, and they're like, I go home to no one. Can you believe there's no one waiting for this beautiful body? And he sort of waves his hands down himself. Not even her. And he points at one of the other scientists. She's very beautiful and way outside of his league. She doesn't even give me the time of day.
Have you tried talking to her?
Of course, but I don't know much about plasticine mitochondria in the old systems and dinosaurs, which is her specialty. And he grabs you, Alfred, by the shirt. He's like, could you not help me? Just talk to her and not be lonely anymore.
I'm gonna blink, gonna glance back at Frankie trying to crack open this locker. How about you and I go talk to her together, pal? I'll help you out.
All right. So you go with this scientist as he's telling you all of the wonderful things about this person.
Yep. Right. Just nodding along as we walk. Not really listening.
So many exaggerated ravings. But Frankie, you get back to the locker, and I'm not going to make you roll again. You open it up because you knew how to get it open. Mm-hmm. So you open it up again. There is one vial in there of a blue liquid. It's not supposed to be blue. They tinted it blue so they could find it easily.
Okay. She will pick up the vial, but she'll stay standing in front of the open locker, just so that she can kind of draw out standing there, so that I'll take a little bit more time with his new friend.
Narrow my eyes back at her and like jerk my head aside, like, go, leave.
As you stand there holding the vial, right? Because you're holding a vial. No.
Yeah, I'm holding it.
Yeah. As you stand there holding the vial, all of the scientists that are around you, they look at you, and they all stop. And there's this awkward moment, Amy, you even feel this coming off them, where they seem to be suddenly very stressed. And then all of them reach up their hands, just their right hands, and they point a single finger at you, Frankie. And they all seem to make a strange sort of gasping howl noise out of their mouths that they open wide. It is a situation where I'm going to have you make a willpower roll because it's pretty scary.
Both of us, I assume.
Yes, both Frankie and Amy.
Oh, 1.
Dang. Turn that back.
Oh gosh. You're pros.
Well, fine. No problems whatsoever. And I had to turn one of these tokens. You're now down to just you have 4 light, 2 dark. Okay. Yeah, you're both fine. It is scary, terrifying. I don't know why they're pointing at you making that noise. But it does make you think something is very wrong here. But you managed to hold it together.
Okay.
Amy is going to ask. Yeah, Amy's gonna like hold her hand out to Frankie and ask for the vial.
Yeah, she's gonna give it to you.
As
cool.
you pass it.
No, go ahead.
As you pass it, the scientists' fingers travel with it, and then they start to move towards you quickly.
All right, cool. Turn one of the tokens dark. I'm gonna use schematic on the liquid. so I get its composition and any links it has to any unknown.
Yeah, okay. So you get, like, the moment it takes for you to get this information from this thing. It's not long. It's almost instantaneous, right? You get the exact, like, chemical makeup of it, all of its pieces and parts and all of its compounds. But then you also find that it does have some unknown entity, sort of DNA mixed in kind of thing, where there's some piece of unknownness worked into it, either through some kind of, like, mixing DNA into it of some unknown, or based on it, like, infusing the life force energy or something into it. There's some unknown portion that is that comes from the actual base material that they used as part of the counter agent.
Right. And you said they're charging at us?
They are now moving very quickly towards you, their arms flailing. They're reaching out for the violin for you.
We might want to go somewhere else.
No, run?
Where are we running?
Run would be a very good idea at this point in time. It would be a movement roll to run quickly away from them and see how well you do. I'm going to roll as well. Oof. How well did you do, Amy? Let me pull up the character sheet.
I've only got a 40.
Did you want to turn a token dark?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
At least one of us can succeed, hopefully.
Well, Frankie succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They also succeeded. It's a low success for both of you and a low success for them as well. So everyone gets low successes. So you move somewhere. Where are you headed?
Maybe putting it in the. Do we have sprinklers? Are we fire safe?
Yes, of course.
Maybe finding the place where you would put it in the tank and then activating the sprinklers. That would get on everybody, right?
Yeah. If it wasn't dramatically diluted, those fire sprinklers can push whole hundreds of gallons of water in seconds. But good work. What are your thoughts, Amy?
Potentially to like any sort of like room where there's shit that hopefully has a door they can lock, but I'm not sure if that's how this lab is set up.
It would be for, just to keep things separated and just to make sure that when synthesizing contaminants don't get in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna book it for that room.
Very good. So Frankie, do you follow Amy or do you head off to where you're pretty sure the fire suppression system is?
I mean,
It's
you have
somewhere.
the vial, so it doesn't matter if I have to go with you. I gave you the vial.
Yeah, I was simply asking if you were following. So you're following Amy?
Yeah.
All right. So you and Amy both make it to the room that you're headed. The other scientists give chase. Alfred, Amy, and you hear this thing and you see the same thing that happened. They both just take off and the scientists are chasing them. How do you want to react to this?
Oh, shit. Am I still there with, my guy as he started chasing them as well, or are we still heading to this other side as well?
No, he's trying to talk to the woman, the very good-looking blonde-haired woman that was in the lab.
So I'm just gonna butt in real quick. He's like, look, all right, see, this guy, he's interested in you. He wants to know if it's all right if he can give you his number and you can organize some kind of coffee date or whatever. If not, whatever, he'll live. I'm just gonna turn and try to chase after them.
Still gonna play matchmaker before you chase after them. All right, make a movement roll. See if you can catch them as they rush into the room.
All right. 50 out of 40.
Okay. Do you want to turn a token dark to succeed?
Nah, I'm old.
Or take away? No? Okay. All right. So what ends up happening then is that Amy and Frankie get to the room, slamming the sliding door shut behind them to seal themselves off. The scientist goes slamming into the door right as the door closes, but Alfred, you were stuck on the other side with them.
All right. They don't seem hostile towards me, at least not yet, right?
Not yet.
All right. In that case, I'll kind of hang back and see what I can figure out.
Okay. Amy and Frankie.
I think Frankie will hold the door, just in case they come through. She'll try and keep them off Amy for as long as she can.
Sounds
I
good.
think it's time for Amy to do science-y shit.
It does feel like it's time for Amy to do sciencey shit. We're gonna have Frankie make a strength roll for me, or probably stamina actually. Stamina roll for me. No, it's strength. Let's strength. A strength roll to see how well you hold the door. A failure just means it's gonna start opening, but a success of any kind would kind of mean you hold the door closed.
Right.
Oof. Okay.
So,
All right, that's fine. So Amy's going to do sciencey shit, and while that's happening, the scientists are going to be clawing at and pawing at the door as they start to get a grip and start pulling, and the door's going to slowly start like sliding open while Frankie fights it, and that's going to be what you're engaged in for a moment while Amy tries to do sciencey shit.
Can I attempt to do something?
Yes, Alfred, on the other side, you see them trying to get into this glass door slider.
I'm gonna look around and see. Is there like a stereo or something of that nature down here? I don't know if the science like this in the music zone. I want to quickly go up to it and see if I can start playing any kind of music to try to get them into that kind of state of them just entering a musical number like they did beforehand. See if I can distract them.
Okay.
I want to play just the most like disgustingly catchy, earwormy, you have to dance to it tune I possibly can on the stereo.
Okay. There's no luck kind of roll, so I'm going to offer you the chance. Do you want to flip a token to automatically succeed? Or do you want to just have me roll a die and see what happens?
How many light tokens do we have?
You currently have 3.
Yeah, I'll flip a token then.
Token flipped. Okay. You turn on some music, and it's something from one of the musicals that are out there. Some kind of piece, Pirates of Penzance or something that just seems to start in. And yeah, it is in fact. And the scientists stop what they're doing and start singing along as if they are modern major generals. Amy. Amy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and make more of this juice.
All right, that'd be some fieldcraft, wouldn't it? Or is
Probably.
it a different thing? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it falls under. Oh, yeah, nice. Considering that 25 is your number, nicely done. Yeah. It takes you a little bit. Fortunately for you, the song that these scientists are singing is quite a decently long one. So you're doing a bunch of things. You know exactly what chemicals to grab because you know exactly what this thing is made out of. And you, I assume, pour it into various vials or whatever and turn them on the centrifuge to mix and shake. Is that correct? So that they kind of combine and stuff. Yeah. Separate and combine and mix around. Yep. And so it is as you've got that going and you know you're about to synthesize a whole bunch of this stuff that they reach the end of the first song, and then another piece starts in, and this one's from Cats, and they all just start dramatically singing along with it. Alfred, you're standing next to this radio. 2 show tunes have come on so far.
I'm just... The moment the second one starts, I just stare, blank-faced, feeling even more dead inside, but thankful that it's working, and I'm going to try to, like, skulk off to the side and sneak along, like, the wall until I can get up to, like, the door to this room and see if I can peek my head in without any of them noticing or breaking from their reverie.
Okay. You do manage to do it. As Frankie's still trying to hold the door, but not so much resistance anymore. So the door is just mostly her standing there holding the door closed against the wall.
I'm just going to lightly rap it with my knuckles. It's me.
Frankie is singing the number from Cats that's on the radio as she opens the door.
How are things in here? Are you done?
I think Amy's working on some stuff, but that is a good selection there, my guy.
I didn't
It's a
pick
good
it.
play. You seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
It's really a classic point. I'm going to look over at Amy. What is she doing?
Well, everything seems to be stopping, getting to the end of her intended goal. What do you got
I
there?
don't know if this is
Might
going to work.
Well, we might want to hurry it up. I don't know how long this will keep them occupied.
Hopefully long enough. I'm going to warn y'all right now. Whatever they used in this isn't entirely natural.
And that's
So
all right.
it might have some side effects.
Oh.
So if people are still weird on Monday,
Do we want to
it will
test it on
hopefully at
someone
least be a
first?
different weird.
Does it do anything bad to people who weren't affected?
I don't fucking know. All we know is that they were denied mass production of it. So either somebody's trying to cause shit, or it's got some side effects.
Well, we can either take a chance or waste more time and restrain someone and test on them to see what the effects are. Personally, I don't think we have a whole lot of time on our hands, considering
We
that
don't have time.
anything that comes near us with this stuff immediately grows hostile. So if that's any indication, I think administering it will be more positive than getting teared apart by our own coworkers.
Yeah, I agree. Let's.
Frankie, have you stolen a humidifier at any point?
Have I stolen a humidifier?
Yeah, because then we can put that in a vent and put the serum in it, and maybe that'll work.
I mean, I probably have one, but it'd be at my desk.
We'll have to get back to that. That, or we just dump it into the AC unit and see if that works. But I don't know.
Or even spiking the coolant with this is a terrible idea.
Yeah,
And that's just about the only it's going to get around.
we just need to get to the vet, right?
I'm not knowledgeable about all this bio. What's it have it type of shit. Just, do we need to put it in the vent, or do we need to grab a fucking humidifier? Your call, Amy. You know what you're doing here.
Let's put some in the vent. See if we can try and get something organized in the break room. See if we can dose that too. That helps.
The song ends, and the scientists all turn towards you guys. They start coming back toward the door, but then another song starts on, and the scientists start singing about how many minutes are in a year. You know it immediately because they just started with 525,600 minutes.
All right, that's our cue that we don't have a lot of time. Let's go. Skedaddle.
Frankie begins singing that song as well. Oh, this is a good one.
You want to try
Man,
dose,
the tunes
Frankie?
are really good. What was
No,
that?
I think she's fine.
I'm
or
right
at least-
here, guys.
I wouldn't say fine, but there's nothing else I can do for her to fix whatever's Frankie.
Let's go.
Okay. So you head out with a plan to put it in, was it in the coolant or the suppression system? I missed that part. I was trying to look up something.
I think we ended up deciding on the coolant. Although the
That's what I
suppression
thought,
system
too.
would mean Amy gets to commit arson.
No arson.
Okay.
Now let's go with the AC.
Yeah.
Is there a specific place we're going to put it in where it's going to be most concentrated, or is it just going to evenly distribute?
It likely would evenly distribute through the system, regardless of where you put it. Like, eventually it pushes through. There
I'll
is
stick
a
with that.
main point, but you know that there's like two very close points, because you have taken the covers off and moved things around on 2 points so far in the building. But it's all one flowed system. So if you put it in anywhere, it would eventually push through the whole system.
I guess we should just go to whatever unit's closer out of the two.
Yep.
The one on the second floor, between the second and third floors, would be the closest one to you. You also know that there's some of the pipes for it inside Leroy's home, which is here on the third floor, just outside the stairwell door. So which do you choose? For each has their own consequences.
Do we have a living spider that I can dose with the small vial?
You have one in an envelope in Frankie's possession,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know that. Frankie does.
I do have one.
Spider. Because these spiders are spreading the aerosol. If we get one, use a small amount, maybe it'll help. If anything,
I think
it'll
we
cancel out the
get
rest of the
into the-
spiders.
Well, that's the thing. I think we just get into the vents. It'll eventually settle everywhere, including the spiders. And if it settles on them, then it'll be fine.
Well, we've got the little vial not gonna really do it on its own, so I figured just to cover our asses.
So, do you need Cheryl or do you not need Cheryl?
Give me the spider.
She's gonna produce it in an envelope and hand it to you. What happened to other Cheryl?
She's on vacation.
Spider mimosas.
Yep, that.
He's gonna try and... I mean, if it's in the fucking envelope, Amy's gonna basically just pour the liquid in onto the spider.
Okay. I mean, it will eventually, melt through the paper, but yeah.
She's aiming for the spider first.
Yeah, absolutely covers the spider.
And then she's going to go towards the vent where there were all the spiders before.
Okay. Yes. So that would be the HVAC that was open.
Yes.
It was on the first floor that you looked at, or between the first and second floor. But there's also one as you start to go up, halfway between the second and third floor, that is open.
She's gonna check in there. And if she sees something that looks like spiders, she's going to let this spider out and kind of try to get it to go into that group.
Yep. Absolutely spiders all up in there.
Cool. Release the spider.
The spider. Now, you are standing next to an open HVAC system. As you release the spider.
All right. Did the other two come with?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's what we got. Amy's gonna the thing with the HVAC system and fucking work.
Mm-hmm. Takes a little bit of time for you to sort out which of the Venny tubes and sort of things are related to the coolant system, but you eventually figure it out. It doesn't have like a screw-off valve, so you have to do a little bit of damage to crack it open, but you crack it open enough that you can start pouring this stuff in. I assume you have more than one tiny vial, but you may have a couple of small vials, right?
Yeah, I figure probably a few small ones.
Yeah. So you're able to just keep pouring and then switch out the vial, then pour and switch out the vial.
Yeah.
You're not sure how fast it'll push through. That's probably related to climate control. It's relatively warm. They try to keep it around 70, but you're also underground, so it seems like it's more of a heating system at the moment. Do you want to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, can we crank it up in a way that'll make it spread faster?
There's one thing that you can do. You'd have to figure it out, but Amy has the ability to figure it out. But you can pull a wire or two, and that would shut off the heating portion of the system, leaving only the cooling system working. But it would require using an ability.
I mean, she's got a couple abilities that could theoretically do that.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, would Power Surge be able to short out just the heating system?
Indeed it would, Amy. Indeed it would.
All right. Turn a token dark and see if I can... Oh! Okay. That is a success by 1.
Ooh.
By 1, right? A low success by 1 point. But it is a success. So explain to me what it looks like, Termite, when Amy uses her power to power surge the system and short out the heating section.
Amy basically just fucking has to basically just like rip the panel off, not thinking a shit. Looking at it and just says, fuck it. And just place a hand on the thing, and then sparks just start flying from as just
Sparks just fly as it just shuts down, right? As it just surges through the system.
Yeah.
There's this sort of chain electrical sound that you'll hear, and the two of you smell the ozone of electrical wiring being kind of overloaded and undone. And after that, when it all sort of quiets down, the ozone dies a little bit, you start to feel the stairwell where you are get incredibly cold. Not like ice cold, not hypothermia cold, but like much, much colder. As the air that starts flowing through the HVAC system is only the chilled air.
Well, it worked, hopefully. But,
So that
maybe
does
it's
what
gonna
we wanted
fix
to.
that. Yep. Should we cautiously make our way back down to the office?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I will lead the way and kind of just very carefully creep our way back to like where our desks are and such.
Mm-hmm. Coming out on the first floor, you find yourself entering some kind of thing, which Becker will describe for us, but it will start to die off as you move your way into the office. What do they find, Becker, when they get up there?
They find the entirety of the first office with the Johns in the lead chanting Oreo, Oreo, and keeping in time a full march counter, left, right, left, right, left, right. And a good half dozen of them are carrying Oreo packages above their heads as if they're like worshiping some sort of weird cult god thing or another as they chant Oreo, Oreo, Oreo. What on earth?
The fuck?
Well, now I want an Oreo.
Yeah, everyone starts
Okay, we
to
have
calm
paperwork.
down and start looking at each other, trying to figure out what the hell was just going on.
I'll walk up, just grab Becker by the shoulders, just like very roughly slap like both his shoulders in my hands. Becker, how are you feeling right now?
I'm a little sore. I've been moving a lot lately. Ow.
Yep, sure have. How do you feel emotionally?
How do I feel emotionally?
Yep.
Normal.
Great, awesome. Go have a sit down in the break room. I'm just gonna shove him to the side.
And trips and falls.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen.
But he doesn't fall in a highly dramatic fashion. It's just kind of a regular, normal trip tumble.
I turn back to the other two. It worked. Thank God.
Thank God. We have
Frankie's eating
paperwork.
her Oreo. Her mouth is full.
Frankie,
Oreos.
Double stuff.
you know what? Eat as many as you want. I don't care.
All right. Well,
Somebody. Good.
I was gonna say she's gonna sit at Kayla's desk.
Somebody amongst the group just sort of says to no one in particular, "Oh, why is it so cold in here all of a sudden?" They start pulling their sweater on over themselves.
I'm gonna turn. I saw Dirk from accounting fucking around with the AC unit. Probably his fault.
A couple of people start like shaking their heads. Fucking Dirk from accounting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go back to my desk, sit down, and look at Frankie. So, seemed upset earlier. What was it?
Upset about what?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I don't recall what you're referring to. I'm not sure. What you talking about there?
Frankie, don't bullshit me.
She's gonna stuff another Oreo in her mouth.
Frankie, tell me what's wrong.
She's gonna pick up Kayla's phone. I would love to chat, but I've missed a couple of calls today, so I gotta catch up Kayla.
I'm just gonna reach forward and just put my finger down on like the end call sort of thing.
Hey,
I'm giving you a single opportunity to talk to me about your problems, and you're really going to pass that up?
You're gonna give bad advice. I don't know if anyone's told you, but you give really bad advice.
I don't have to give any advice. You just have to tell it to someone because you're clearly upset.
Well, I don't know if I'm upset. I'm just confused.
About?
Well, you know, the whole spider situation, which we don't have to talk about moving forward. I think we could just pretend like that never happened. But I asked Leroy to take it out for me, and he was able to get it out.
Yep. I'm always confusing about that.
Nothing. That was great. It was just kind of a spark of inspiration. I figured, maybe he has some weird way to be able to do that. He's more grounded to earthly thing. So I just assumed.
Oh, I've noticed.
That was great.
Then what part are you confused about?
Well, he's a decent thief, you know?
And you're upset that he's able to do it quite well when he just now started doing it after you've been doing it for so long.
Okay.
You can tell me I'm wrong. Well, I could tell you that it's nothing to be upset or worried about. You will still be, and always will be, the most annoying thief that I know. But if you need something to keep your mind off of it, just gonna glance at her, then reach down to the bottom drawer of my desk, go in, pull out a false bottom, pull out like a manila file, and just slap it down on her desk. You might enjoy that. That is a copy of my HR file. I kept it for sentimental reasons.
She's gonna pick it up. Are you willingly giving me secret?
They're not really secrets. You just might be amused by some of what's in there.
Well, maybe I'll take a glance. When I have time, I need to make some calls. As I said, way behind on my checkup. But,
Sure.
Thanks.
Yep. Meanwhile, I have a lot of paperwork to do.
I know. Yeah.
You mentioned this to me ever again, I will pretend like it never happened.
Understood.
Just gonna nod and go to work.
And as you do, you notice that it is only 10:25 a.m.
Son of a bitch.
An hour and a half.
At least the singing has stopped.
It's gonna be a long day.
Now it feels too quiet in here.
And right about then, someone complains that the copier is down again. And you can all see that they're trying to look over the cubicles to see if they can find Amy. But this is where we will end our episode 3 of Chill the Office. Thanks for joining us, everybody.